All right, we are up. We are live on the X's Facebook page. It's Lou and Kev and Diamond and Josh from Tetrarch. How are you guys doing? I know we were just exchanging about how hot it is in California where you guys are.
Yeah, we're doing good. Just trying to stay inside in some AC, but other than that, we're doing good.
You guys in the wildfires right now?
There are a bunch around us. There's none. We're in North Hollywood, and I haven't seen any like nearby us, but we have a lot of friends that live like a little further out that say they see a lot of them. So
I mean, just every year, it seems like California's on fire, man. That's got to be frustrating.
It's its own season here, wildfire season. Like,
yeah,
it's coming every year.
It's like traffic season in Chicago, man. It's the same thing, just less dangerous.
Exactly.
Yeah, considerably. Well, look, I mean, you guys are hitting it a really weird time. I mean, your song that's out right now, you're hearing it on the X, I'm Not Right, is absolutely killer. I feel like you guys were probably lined up for a huge summer of touring and all kinds of stuff. And then look, hey, the world stops, right? So where were you guys at when everything came to a screeching halt? Were you on the road? Were you all at home? How did it slow down for you?
We had actually been in the studio recording this album in, November, basically, or October through January. So we had just got done with that. We're kind of planning, when our touring was going to be for 2020. But once all this hit, obviously we had to kind of shuffle some things around. But I mean, honestly, it kind of hit in a weird time, but a time that actually ended up working out for us in a weird way.
Yeah, it was interesting because like the album was supposed to come out in the summer. And when this happened, we were like, oh man, what do we do? Because we finished like filming the music video and everything literally a week before LA closed down. So it was like, we kind of had to make a decision fast, but we ended up just being like, you know what, everyone's at home now. No one's doing anything. They have time to listen to new music. So we decided to go ahead and just drop the single.
Yeah, smart move. You guys were saying that the album was finished before everything started. That's unstable. Still looking at October 2nd, I think, for the release of that?
I think that's getting pushed and moved a little bit, but we'll have specific for everybody soon.
Okay, very cool. So, something a lot of bands that I've noticed have had the same thing you guys had happen. Okay, they have the album done. It's ready to go. The pandemic hits, no touring, everything stops. I know the Pretty Reckless had to do that. Foo Fighters. There's a lot of bands that are going through that. How important is it for someone who's not in the music industry, doesn't get how it goes together? When you have a new album out, how important is it for you guys to be on the road behind that album trying to push it right now?
I mean, it's super important. It's different because some bands might not put as much of an emphasis on touring as others. It kind of depends on the band. Band like ours are one of our strongest points is live. So it is something that's kind of a bummer because we have to be on the road to really like portray everything we're trying to portray. So it depends, but it's also a way a lot of artists make money, and it's a way a lot of artists make a living as well is from being on the road. So it is definitely a tough time for not only like the bands, but the venues and the crews and everything.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Make a living from touring. Something that completely halts that is kind of insane, and it's something that we've never seen in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Hopefully don't see again. But yeah, it's tough for a lot of people, not just bands, but the whole industry.
Are you guys able to get together physically and play as a band right now?
Yeah, we all live here in LA, so and our practice spot's like 10 minutes away, so we're still jamming.
That's great, man. It's some bands don't have that right now. I think we talked to, I think it was Pop Evil, and somebody's overseas right now. They literally have to send each other like drum tracks over the internet to kind of play together. It's a little bit crazy. So you guys are pretty fortunate in that way, huh? For
sure. Yeah, definitely. And I like even our drummer's there every day, like 7 a.m. practicing. And so we use
7 a.m. That's a great time to be loud.
Follow him on Instagram. You'll see him there about 6 a.m. LA time, just warming up and going.
We don't get there until later in the day, but that's what he does. Us too. We don't even open our eyes till like 12. So.
Nah.
We put your tune in I'm Not Right in Hit It or Quit It, which is a fan voting feature that we have on our website a couple weeks ago. And it absolutely blew up. 97% clear hit it, no question. I feel like you guys are probably getting some fans discovering you because people are sitting at home digging up new music, things like that. Have you seen an increase or, just a change in the way or how many fans you have interacting with you on social media and stuff like that during all this?
Yeah, it's weird. It's all hit kind of at one time, like especially at the same time the pandemic. So it's hard to know sometimes, like, all right, is it because everyone's at home, or we just released a new single, or
Right.
what? But there has been a influx, definitely, and a lot of people discovering us from the new song. But a lot of it probably is that there's so many people at home, and that we aren't. And I say this a lot, but like, this was supposed to be like a crazy summer for this genre, like the touring. There was a lot of crazy tours, a lot of bands releasing records. And now, since all of that's been pushed back, like, there's not as much traffic. So there's a lot of room for us to reach people that maybe there wouldn't have been if there was a ton of stuff going on. So I think we've been able to connect to a lot of people just from that. I hate to find joy in other people's suffering, it's a bummer, but I have to look at the positive of anything. It's that.
I'm willing to bet that the 3% of people, who voted against Tetrarch on Hit It or Quit It hit the wrong button. I'd be willing to bet they hit the wrong button. I was watching some videos, actually, Diamond, on your Twitter of you just playing along to Lamb of God, things like that. Is that one of your favorite bands to play?
Yeah, it's funny. And I realized that like the last video I posted playing something with Lamb of God too, and that was purely coincidental. But I definitely like jamming to them. I think they have really cool guitar parts. So it's fun.
Yeah, and you play it like it's yours. Really good stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't post it if it was bad.
Good. That's a good mindset. I like that. Don't post crap.
I love the list you recently put together of like the new metal guitarists that really shred. I mean, you had Dan from Disturbed at the top of the list, but I mean, everybody from System in there. It was a pretty elaborate list. Is there anybody you guys would love to play with on that list that kind of jumps out at you as like, oh, I would love to get on the road with that band. I'd love to share the stage with them, work with them in some way like that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like all the bands she listed on there are ones that we grew up listening to, we loved, and I mean, I'd love to get out there with Disturbed and watch Dan shred every single night. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, all of them, honestly. Korn, System of a Down, even Limp Bizkit. It would just be fun. Like those bands, like he said, are what we grew up when we were in middle school and high school. Those bands were reigning, especially for our genre, and they were taking over the radio at the time. And that's what got me into even heavier music, is all those bands on that list. So like, it would be an honor to tour with any of them. Honestly, it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, even if anybody looks at Limp Bizkit and it's like, oh, it's Limp Bizkit. Like, no, you don't understand. Wes is a great guitar player. That band at that moment was like the thing. It's easy to look back on something that kind of doesn't age well and poke holes in it or make fun of it. But thinking back to when I was in high school, Nookie was like absolutely killer. It sounds so weird to say now, but it was like, oh yeah, Nookie, this is awesome. But
it was still killer. When it comes in, I'm like, oh, that hits so hard.
That's actually why Lou wears his hat the way that he does. It's because of Fred Durst.
I also eat a lot of cookies. All goes together, and it's all Fred Durst's fault. That's why I'm so heavy. But it's a whole thing I got to get into with him.
Absolutely. No, it's, you got to get a red hat, and then
Yeah, right. I need a Kangol, and I would be official.
It would be amazing.
So with you guys working on the new album, it's very cool to hear that you were able to actually do it together, as opposed to, all right, well, we're going to try to piece this thing together with me quarantining here and you over there. But you've done a few EPs before. You've had the LP out, Freak. What was it like for this one? Because there was some time in between the last LP and Unstable. What's the process, and how did it change a little bit for you guys as you put this one together?
I think so. For us, coming off of Freak and how well it was able to do, and to kind of help get us out more to the public, that album was kind of the first time that we tried some different things than we had typically done in the past. I mean, we started as a super, I hate to say the term, but we were a super thrashy band. Everything was fast. Everything was, just straight up thrash. And for Freak, it was like the first time that we actually tried some different guitar sounds. I tried different vocal styles, and we just kind of looked at ourselves and said, you know what, let's do something different. Let's have fun. Let's do what we want to hear. And so seeing how Freak did, it gave us the confidence going into Unstable to just go full on, just say, if we like something, let's do it. It doesn't matter if, there's not two songs on the album that sound the same. And I think it just helped us kind of be confident in ourselves.
Yeah, for sure. It was like the whole Tetrarch sound really came around on this record, but you know, we weren't. It gave us confidence. Like the process was pretty much the same. We co-produced with the same producer that did Freak, so it was pretty much the same process. This one was longer. Like we were in the studio for like 5 months maybe or something like that, and we started writing like 6 months before that. So it was basically like a year-long process. But the confidence level of this one was a lot higher than with Freak, actually.
So you mentioned, you know, not two of the songs sounding the same on the album. So there was obviously a song selection process. Did you have a lot of leftover songs on the album, or did you everything you had, you put it out?
Actually, we did not. Where there was a couple that did not make the cut. One Josh kept pushing. That sounded like it should have been Bandicoot. And I was like, dude, that's not
still
going on the
next album.
record.
It's sick.
But there's definitely a couple that did not make the cut. One we actually thought was going to make the record until probably until it was finished. We were listening back to the whole record and we're like, you know what?
Yeah,
let's get rid of
maybe
that.
a day before we got the masters sent to us.
Yeah.
And we're like, can you reorder all of this and take that song out?
Yeah. So,
well, what was wrong with Josh's song?
you want me to send it to you?
Sick. Clearly.
We're both each other's quality control for sure, you know. So that I have to do some troubleshooting on that one.
That seems incredibly important to have for the chemistry of a band, being able to tell each other, like, dude, this one's not working. Sorry, but we're not putting it on the album. Because I'm sure, Josh, you probably put a hell of a lot of work into it and you felt strongly about it, but still you have to be able to have that conversation and be cool, like, all right, fine, I'll let this one go, but, you know, it's got to be difficult to do that.
Oh, yeah. The last time, Josh, Tetrarch is not a polka band. We've been telling you this, and every album, you bring in that polka song.
I would love a polka song. No, I mean, honestly, like it's funny because I laugh because I think I probably did show her that riff in a variation like 5 different ways. One as a solo lead, as a heavy rhythm guitar, a vocal melody, and every time it got shot down, I would try and slide it in there. It never worked. So it's good. We have those. There's a lot of times we'll put something down and one of us will look to the other and be like, is this bad? And the other, yeah.
and we're the extreme opposite too, where he likes everything for the most part. Like he'll bring me something and he'll just think it's so sick, and I'm like, Josh, it's so bad. And I'm the opposite. I hate everything. Everything I write, I'm like, oh, this is so bad. And he's like, no, that's really cool. See it through. So we're like the complete opposite. But it's
great balance.
Yeah, exactly. It's the perfect balance.
So we'll hear it all on the Josh solo album. I can't wait for it.
Yeah.
You know, you guys, something I thought was really awesome when we were setting this up, I was emailing with, and this doesn't happen a lot with bands. So for anybody who doesn't understand, when you try to put something like this together, you talk to a manager or someone who's around the band. But I'm putting this thing together and I'm just emailing directly with Diamond, which was just like so super chill, super cool. Clint Lowry from Seven Dust is like that too. Trying to book an interview with him, he's like, "Yeah, man, just call me. Here's my number." Like it says a lot when the band is like the person running everything. But you guys just signed an awesome deal. You guys are now with Napalm, right?
Mm-hmm.
Huge congrats on that. It just happened. I think it was like last week. But so how does that change things for you guys as a band? Does that add some people around you to kind of help take that off of your plate? Or what's the biggest thing that's going to change now that you're with Napalm Records?
Well, I mean, before we already had like a team, we had management and publicists and all of that. Usually I'll direct them, you know, to, you know, our manager or to whoever the appropriate person is. But if it's something like this, I know we want to do it. And, you know, you guys have been amazing in supporting us. And we always like to return the favor. And I know it's going to be just an absolute yes. I'm just like, no, let's do it. I'm fine with doing it. I'll set it up. No problem. But with Napalm involved, now we have like double the team because
sure,
you know, we have our team and then we have our team at Napalm now. So it's great. It's awesome. It takes a lot off of our plate because, you know, for years we did everything by ourselves. So it definitely takes a lot off our plate. But we're a very hands-on band too. Like me and Josh are super hands-on all the time with everything. We like to know everything. I'm sure our team is like, oh,
Oh yeah, it's just
You know?
it's like it's even weird for us. Like we see a bunch of emails coming in, and sometimes it's weird to like back up from it a little bit and let things happen because we're so used to just being.
And
right
even our managers like forward all this to me. Like you don't deal with this stuff, and I'm in the process of, like getting used to even doing that. You know,
It's hard to give up control.
Yeah, I guess so. I hate to put it that way, but it is. It's true. You know, but we enjoy it. You know, it's not. I enjoy like seeing everything that's going on, and you know, but it is what it is. We appreciate you guys, so there was no problem.
Oh, it goes both ways, but you know, it's got to be. It's a good thing for you guys to want to be so hands-on too, because now you know what's happening with your band. You aren't blindsided by stuff if you're so in the loop. A lot of times, I think bands can kind of get removed by managers to the point where like they don't even know who they're talking to next, what's going on next. But for you guys to be in the loop, that sounds like a very good thing for a band.
Yeah, and we definitely keep the mindset, and not in like a bad way or anything, but we definitely keep the mindset, and we let our team know like obviously everything has to come through us anyways first. Like please don't make any decisions on our behalf without us knowing about them or without us approving them. So they know that. So we should find out about everything anyways. If we don't, it's an issue. But for the most part, we find out about everything. But we're just so, like I said, we have to kind of get used to not being like so hands-on all the time because that's just how it's been since the beginning. So we're working on it.
So what was this summer supposed to hold for Tetrarch? What were the big plans for you guys? Where were you going to be? You know, what ended up having to go by the wayside for now?
You know, it's weird because we were in that weird kind of space of our album wasn't quite out yet. We were just finishing it. So we hadn't really solidified our full year of touring yet. We were in the talking phase and doing all of that. So honestly, we were kind of looking for later in this year and the start of 2021 anyways for going out there hard and promoting their album on the road. So nothing really changed too much. So just the actual release of the music itself.
Yeah, because we were planning, like I said, for a summer release, and then obviously all the touring stuff was starting in the fall and beyond. But luckily, we weren't in that position since we had just finished the record where we had a ton of dates that we had to cancel. Nothing like that. It was all in the preliminary stages still, like, you know, talking about different packages and all of that kind of stuff. So luckily, we were able to take all those talks and just move them some, which we were fortunate to do. But you know, we were in that weird, like I said, we had just finished when LA shut down. Like if LA shut down like March 17th or something, we had finished like March 12th or 10th with like the music video, the first song. So it was just like, it was a weird, but I'm glad we hadn't released anything or anything like that yet when it happened because we were able to take a second and plan. You know, it wasn't like, you know, we released something, then it happened, and then we were like, oh man, I don't know what to do now. So
that sounds like the best spot you could possibly have found yourself in for what's happened to the music industry, which is, you know, like you said before, no one's ever seen this. No one knows how to plan for it or what to expect next. It's tough, you know. And the next question I have is the $1 million question. What's next for you guys? What's next for Tetrarch? I mean, I'm sure it's getting out on the road and pushing the album, but you know, it's a matter of when, right?
Yeah, you know, it's hard to, you know, you can only plan as much as you can, especially on the touring front with what's going on. But it honestly is almost looking like Europe for a lot of bands is opening up first before we are. So a lot of international touring plans right now for especially like the first half of next year. And then, you know, but it's kind of right now focusing on that, promoting the new record and singles until that record comes out and hitting touring as soon as we can. As soon as we're able, we have.
Have you guys gotten a chance to play overseas before? You've played in Europe and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we have not.
We're about to, and we're super stoked on that. That's something that since we were, you know, in middle school together, we talked about.
Yeah.
Right, and I know that Europe loves its metal, loves its heavy music out there, man.
Oh yeah, yeah, we're stoked about it. All the fests and all the people out there, like you said, they love heavy music, so we're excited.
That's very cool. So look, we've all been stuck inside, and as we start wrapping this up, what's something you guys have discovered during the pandemic, music-wise? There's been a lot of really great stuff that made its way out. I know recently there's been a lot of covers that have kind of kicked out in the rock world. And I mean, we had Lejean from Seven Dust on talking about the Soundgarden cover, which blew my mind how great they were able to capture not just Chris Cornell, who's iconic, but the whole band. They really did a great job with it. Is there anything that kind of jumped out at you guys during the pandemic, whether it's a whole album or just one song or anything like that you came across that you were like really blown away by and want to share?
Ooh, that's rough. I'm going to be completely honest with you. This whole pandemic, I have been listening to just straight throwback rock and metal music for the most part. We were talking about Limp Bizkit. I literally was listening to him in the car.
I love that, though. That's great.
So, but we love like Dead. They released a couple singles. They're good friends of ours. A couple singles right before this happened that we've been jamming. Let's see what else has been out there that we've been listening to a lot of. The Metallica S&M. That's collectively our favorite band. So
yeah, right.
Yeah. So, definitely listening to that. Super cool. Just, stuff like that, really. But like I said, strangely enough, the new Lamb of God, obviously, do I even have to say?
Sure.
Godira just came out with something that was really cool. So just kind of like the few heavy singles and the few singles that have come out I've been into. And other than that, it's just been smashing old stuff.
Diamond, can I make a request?
What's up?
Diamond, can I request the ending solo from Fade to Black on Twitter, played by Diamond? Can I hear that?
That's one of the first solos I ever learned as a guitar player. So
yeah, I tried for 10 years to learn that solo. I never could tack it down. If anybody could, I bet it would be you.
I'll give it a shot for you.
Great.
You guys gonna try to get to the drive-in to see Metallica?
I've seen Metallica. He's seen them more than me. I've seen Metallica live 4 or 5 times, and he's seen them, I don't even know, like 8. So I just don't know if I want to pay $100 and something to go see him on the screen. Now, if they were going to be here for real, I would be there in a heartbeat.
Sure.
All-time favorite band. But I think I can just continue to watch. I have every DVD, so I think we're
right.
Yeah,
The one closest to us was like $125 a car, but no, it's 4 people. I'm like, it's $125 a car to go to the drive-in? Are they there? No.
It's gonna be on YouTube. It's gonna be on YouTube. So
someone will record it with their phone. Don't worry, it'll get out.
Yeah.
But I love them. I'll support them in any way I can. I just think this time I might sit this one out. I don't know.
I don't blame you. Well, look, Diamond, Josh, thank you guys for taking some time with us today. Tetrarch, the album is coming this fall. Unstable, you're hearing them now on WXRX. I'm Not Right. It was an absolute smash and hit it or quit it. I really appreciate you guys taking some time, and let's chat again once the album's out and we're through the pandemic. See what's going on with you guys.
Of course. Thank you guys for having us. We appreciate it, and thanks for all your support.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.